Okay, let's expand x plus y to the 7th power, and then we're going to talk about these two in a minute. Okay, so first let's expand x plus y to the 7th power. We could use something called combination formula, but let's just use Pascal triangle, and I'll try to make a video using combination next time. So if it's 7th power, we're going to use this row here. These numbers will become the main coefficient. So here's what I mean. So 1 becomes the coefficient for the first guy. So 1 times x. The first term gets the full power. And then next term gets 0 power. Okay, so sum of these power must equal to 7. Y to the 0 is 1, but I'm just going to write it. Plus, now the next term coefficient is 7 times, now x power decreases by 1, so that becomes x to the 6. And then this y becomes increasing by 1, so y to the first power, which is just y, so I'm not going to write it. Plus, it's always plus. Next coefficient is 21 times, now x to the 5th power. You decrease by 1. At the same time, y increases by 1. You get the point. The sum of these two power must equal to the power that we started with. Okay, and keep going. 35 is next coefficient. This 35 right here. So it becomes 35 times x to the decrease by 1, x to the 4th, y increase by 1/3 power, and so on and so forth. Let me shrink it a little bit. Next would be plus the other 35, x to the decrease by 1 now. Y gets increased by 1. Plus 21 x to the, because it's 21 here, x to the decrease by 1, y increase by 1 to the 5th. I'm running out of space. And then next, I just use 21, right? So 7 plus 7, x to the first power now, y to the 6th power. And that 1, I'm not going to write it. It's x to the 0 power, which is 1. I'm not going to write it. Y to the 7th power. Right, so x plus 7 to the 7th power becomes all that. Let me simplify that. Well, that's 1. I could erase y to the 0 power is just 1. So I could erase, everything looks fine. So I'm just going to move it up a little bit, shrink a little bit right there. So that's how I expanded it. Now let's talk about the second part. It says let x equals 1 over 4. Oh, that's not 7. That's x plus y. So x equals 1 over 4. So let me put it 1 over 4. And y is equal to 3 over 4. Everything to the 7th power. I mean, that inside is 1. 1 to the 7th power is 1. So it says using this, let's verify this is equal to 1. Here we go. So x equals 1 over 4. So it's 1 over 4 to the 7th power. So all you got to do is plug 1 over 4 here for x and 3 over 4 for y. So every time you see y, just plug that in. Plus 7 times 1 over 4 to the 6th power. I'm doing this portion right there. Second term times 3 over 4 plus 21 times 1 over 4 to the 5th power, and then y is 3 over 4 to the 2nd power. You get the idea. So every time you see x's here, like that, like that, like that, put 1/4 to the 5th power, 4th power, 3rd power, y, plug it in 3 over 4 instead of y, and good luck adding. Use your calculator, just add, and it should equal to 1. That's how you do it. I'm just going to show you how to do it. Otherwise, it's going to take so much time. Okay, so that's the second part. Let's do the third part. Third part is just expanding it using, instead of y, it's 2y now. So again, here, instead of y, all you got to do is plug in 2y for that. Let me show you the pattern here. So we got x plus 2y, everything to the 7th power. Okay, we're going to do this one right now. We're expanding that. So x doesn't get affected, x to the 7th plus 7 times x to the 6th times now y. Instead of y, I have to put 2y now. And then plus 21 times, let me just do couple in the beginning, x to the 5th times, instead of y, it's going to be 2y raised to the 2nd power. This term right there is the third term, this term right here. Get it? And then let me color code this. I'll use the purple color here. That's plus 35 x to the 4th. Instead of y, it's 2y to the 3rd power, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's simplify it. Let's see how this changes now. X to the 7th stays as x to the 7th, plus now 2 can be multiplied by 7, so it's going to be 14 x to the 6y. See how coefficient changes because of that 2? You do the same thing here. Plus, now you raise 2y to the 2nd power, which becomes, so this portion becomes 4y squared. Then that 4 can be multiplied by 21. It becomes 84. And then x to the 5th, y second. You understand? And then this becomes, this portion becomes what? That becomes 8y cubed. So 8 gets multiplied by 35. So 280. Let me put 280. And then x to the 4th, y cubed. And then you do the same thing like that. Okay? And then just work towards this guy, y to the 7th. And you get that's how you expand this. Good luck.